friends. I'm Prairie Vintage. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit and my intuition, the tarot, to communicate energies to you guys, most amazing viewers. So blessed to be here. And if you're new to this channel, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you found me. And for those of you guys returning, I'm so blessed, so grateful, and I appreciate you guys so much. Can't wait to get into the reading today. We're looking at what is coming in energetically in the next short while. So as we know, energy is not set in stone. So when we say in the next little while, give a window of time, could be in the next 7 days, next 10 days, whatever is sort of flowing with the energy towards you in the vibration that you're in. And there's a lot going on astrologically. So there is a lineup of planets happening in January here when I am recording this video, although all my readings are timeless, so you don't have to be here at the time of this event. But there is a lot of charge happening here with what's going on. So there is a collective message before we get into the disclaimer and your pile selection here that was pulling through. So if you guys want to get straight away to your reading, you can go ahead and select from the timestamp, but I do want to get into the collective messaging that is pulling through. Those of you guys who might be experiencing a very intense energetic shift, you might be picking up collectively what's going on here in the collective consciousness with the rise of awareness in a lot of areas that maybe a lot of people were sleeping. And so with this comes a lot of reflection, realization, and a heaviness of emotions that we're purging, and this is due to the fact that we can see the magnitude and the gravity of all of the actions that we've been taking as a collective. And it's quite powerful when you tune into the significance and the impact that we have here as humans living in this day and age. And it is quite heavy to process and flesh out a lot of these energetic charges that we're carrying here as the collective. And so if you're an empath or just really in tune with energy, you might be tapping into this part of the collective, and it's very intense. And so this is why we might feel a lot of emotions, a lot of sadness, or maybe a lot of guilt, or a lot of heaviness, or confusion, or whatever it is that we're sort of reflecting on. And I know yesterday for me specifically, I was hit with almost like an energetic coma, because as I like to say afterwards, I was at capacity. I couldn't intake any more energy, but I couldn't output any energy either. Like even just to turn around, felt like I had to make a decision that I wasn't prepared to do. And so there I sat, or lay down, I should say, and I was just like in this energy coma. And so it kind of felt like a dark night of the soul, because I did feel, or at least I could sense, a lot of my insides. It felt like they were being burnt, like transmuted. I could sense energy being burnt. And I knew, just through my experience of many dark nights of the soul, that this too shall pass, although it came with an intensity that kept pulling me back into my mind, which I could have sat there and sort of started to spiral into the dark night of the soul and chaos. But I tried to remain sort of in a higher state of awareness, knowing that it was just an experience, but it was still very, very, very intense. And so I can only imagine if, we're sort of new to trying to manage our emotions and get out of our mind and tap into greater consciousness, that could be quite scary for certain individuals, getting hit with collective energy all at once. So if you are feeling ups and downs energetically, it is absolutely due to the fact that we are in a shift, and the shift here is new earth. New earth is getting out of lower states of consciousness. Okay, third density, meaning where we are in this, matrixy rat race, where no one's really awakened to the fact that we are divine beings and we have essence that needs to be expressed and not forced into certain programs and conditioned patterns. And so this is becoming more and more prevalent as we see the collective shifting out of, all of this very restricted way of being that has progressed over the last 100 years specifically. Okay, so you're not alone here. We are all in this together. I'm so blessed to have a community of people here where we can share what it is we're experiencing. And I feel like, it might get more intense before it certainly gets any better. But like any sort of shift, regardless of how dark or depressing or heavy it might seem, it is always for the benefit of change. And so always know that the more intense these energies that you're experiencing, the more weight we're sort of unloading here of the collective so that we can be freed. Okay, so it is a beautiful energy that will remain once we transmute a lot of this heavy energy that we're sitting through and sifting through and having to reconcile as the collective. And slowly but surely, the collective will be waking up to all of this stuff, and we'll feel more and more like we're all in it together rather than these isolated individuals. Okay, and thank God for the internet, because we can go and connect with each other, which wouldn't have been possible, given 30, 20 years ago. It would be impossible to be able to connect. And so you can only imagine how alone, this journey could be. But there is a community here that you guys can reach out to, your soul tribe, that are most likely experiencing the exact same thing. So, beautiful people, outside of that collective message, let's get into the disclaimer. So today's disclaimer is in regards to if it's your first time checking out a reading, okay, although I won't be using the tarot today, I'm using solely oracle cards. Same rules apply to the tarot as they do to the oracle or any divination. It's really a reflection of consciousness being reflected back to you. And so this is a pick a card or a pick a deck, pick a pile reading, meaning you pick your deck, you pick your whichever option that is intuitively calling to you, and that will most likely have your messaging. And the messaging is reflecting back to you an energetic state here that is resonating and vibrating at your frequency. Okay, since energy is, you can really tap into any frequency of energy. It really depends on where you're at the time of the reading. And so that's why these readings are timeless. You can click on this reading, a year from now, a few days from now, whenever you click on it, that's the vibration that you're resonating with. And that messaging is either going to, resonate and make sense to you, or it's going to be something that isn't making sense. And if it's not making sense, then it just means you've either tapped into the wrong pile, or you're still, developing your intuition here. And that messaging could be something for a different date and time when your consciousness is ready to hear the messaging. So we are looking at the reading today, which will be what's happening in the next 7 to 10 days or the week ahead energetically for you. And with the charge of the planets that are getting aligned here, I am expecting to see, quite a significant sort of reading here. But I don't know if we're going to get anything practical or if we're going to get something more metaphysical or spiritual. I guess we'll see what sort of pulls through here. So we're using these 4 decks, beautiful people. Option number 1, we have the Poesis. Option number 2, we have the Metaphysical Cannabis Oracle deck. I don't even know if that's the front. Yes, it is. And option number 3, we have the Soul Trees Oracle. And finally, for option number 4, we have the Animal Power deck. So if you're pulled to multiple piles, it's absolutely common, okay, because energy is always interconnected. So it could be you, person around you, situation you're dealing with, different aspects. One could be your perspective, one could be the objective truth of what's going on in your situation. So never pigeonhole yourself to one understanding, Be open to what the divine wants to communicate. That's the best way for you to develop your intuition and for you to grow and challenge yourself when it comes to broadening your consciousness so that you can take information and implement whatever it is that Spirit is wanting you to be open to. Okay, but use your own intuition and never take messages that don't feel right or don't sit well with you. Okay, that's going to be solely up to you and the divine. I'm just here serving as a channel to communicate what it is that the divine's pulling through. So I'll leave these 4 options for you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put the timestamp in the description box and in the pinned comment below. It will take you directly to your pick, and I will see you at your pick. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 1, you guys picked the Poesis. So let's take a look. The energy coming towards you in the next, let's say 7 days or so, a week ahead, 10 days, give or take. Okay, depending where you guys are on your timeline and this energy frequency, and see what it is that Spirit wants to communicate to you. Okay, so listen to the disclaimer if it's your first time at this channel or your first time getting a reading. You might want to just know how it sort of pulls through on my channel, okay? But we'll ask Spirit for a clear and concise message in regards to what it is pile number 1 is needing to know about the energy that is coming towards pile 1, what energy is going to be around you in the next short while here with everything going on in the astrological planes with all the planets lining up with the sun. It's actually quite a fascinating phenomenon. I think there's 6 planets aligning with the sun. And so there's a lot of charged up energy here that might be impacting you. Okay, definitely impacting the collective here. So let's see. I don't know that I'll read reversals, but I was called to do that. Let's see. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 1. What is going on in the week ahead that pile 1 is needing to know about? So we have illuminate and seek. We have surrender in reverse. I will be reading reversals apparently. And we have joy. I don't read bottom of the deck reverse. And under that we have abundance. Wow. Okay. So we have change. And we have create in reverse. And we have support. And we have open. And we have expand. Wowzers. Okay. So we have some Virgo, some Leo, and some Pisces pulling through here, and some Aquarius. Yes, okay, so let me sit here with this energy for a little bit and see what your messaging is. Okay, beautiful people, your messaging is quite beautiful here. I feel like there might have been a period of time, or you might still be in some sort of reflective mode. This is giving me Hermit. Okay, but with illuminate and the joy, which is giving me sun, this is all about clarity and enlightenment. And when we reflect on things, we get a better insight. And I feel like there's some hidden knowledge or some hidden information that is becoming apparent to you as a result of reflecting. I think it is in the next little while. I don't know necessarily that. Well, it could be. It could be that you guys get some information external that provides you maybe with more ammo in order for you to understand something that maybe you've been reflecting on for quite some time. But I feel like really the thrust of the understanding comes from the inside, meaning you take some understanding, some information, or something you're reflecting on in order to dive in deeper, in order to really understand something here so that you can make an informative decision. Maybe something you're sitting on, or something you're reflecting on, or something that you were uncertain about because you were either limited with your understanding or just couldn't see the depths of something. But I feel it's revealed to you. And this understanding that's being revealed to you is driving you to take some form of action here. Okay, and I feel like the action is based on this new understanding, but I feel like it drives you in a direction, but you're still on some form of journey here. And I feel like the journey is towards your life purpose or towards an end result of something, but at least now there's direction. So it could be that a lot of you guys might have felt either blocked, stuck, or uncertain of what direction to go in, whatever your circumstance or situation. But in the next, let's say 7 to 10 days, there's this deeper dive of understanding, or something's revealed that you sit with, that you say, okay, this is the direction. Let me go and explore that option in order for me to be able to, like produce or manifest whatever this thing is, or explore whatever this thing is that you might have been contemplating. So I do feel like this brings in significant amount of change. And I do feel like it gives you a new vitalization, if you will, because maybe you felt like something was missing, or like, I don't know, it's like you're back in the game. So there's this new life, there's this new sort of zest, there's this new expansion in the way that you are tapping into your future or your dream or your vision of something. So for a lot of you guys, I feel like maybe there was a future vision of something, but there were more questions than answers, or there was more holding you back or keeping you stuck or not allowing you to understand how to take the first step. But I feel like with this week ahead, there's, okay, I'm now pointed in a direction. I now can understand certain things that I didn't in the past. So I'm not going to just give up on this dream. I'm not just going to say it can't happen. I'm not just going to see that it's hopeless. I now see a way to get there. And I feel like maybe there's a lot of people or support or resources that are now completely lined up. So let's say, for example, you wanted to open up a studio or something, but I don't know, maybe you lacked, the physical, geographical, or a building or something like this, or maybe you needed certain individuals to run the back end operations, or whatever the thing is that maybe was missing. It's like it's all lined up here. Okay, it's all lined up here in order for you to focus on, I think, the crux or the meat of your project. Although I don't feel like you completely, come to that, I don't know, like form that manifestation or that dream, but it feels very targeted. It feels very clear. It feels very much like there's this enthusiasm towards creating this, now that you see the light, or now that you see the way, or now that the obstacles are kind of removed. And the biggest obstacle, I think, was not understanding something or not seeing how to do something here. But now there's like this, like the joy outweighs, or I guess the vision of what could be, and the joy of what that manifestation could bring, the abundance of what this journey could bring to you is now a reality in your world. And I feel like it's celebrated with a group of people. So I don't know, like maybe you have like a soul tribe, that you're sort of celebrating with here, or that are really a part of this progress, and they want to see you succeed, or they're on your team. And maybe there was a lot of question around, can I depend on these people? Can I depend on this support system? Can I depend on this program? And it's like, yes, yes, I trust it. I see it. And these people, or the support system, or the resources are really coming into play here, or into place, in order for you to, remove whatever was blocked. So you're removing blockages. Look at this coming together with the union. Something's definitely coming together here, that was at a standstill. And so you're being shown some information or understanding something. But I feel like understanding this creates a whole opening of more questions and more exploration. But at least it's vast and open rather than being stuck and not progressing. So now it's like the world is my oyster, and there's so many different ways that I could enjoy this abundance, or I could take this road or this path. So I feel like now we're on a journey, now we're exploring, now we're really fired up about where it could take us or what we can explore here in way of direction. Okay, which I think is a lot different than feeling blocked and stuck. So I am being called to answer a question for you guys for this group. Well, it's a very specific message, but let's get the pendulum here if I could get it off of this thing. And yeah, if you guys want to ask a yes/no question, I'll give you time to come up with your yes/no. The more direct and clear your question is, the more concise. Okay, but it needs to be a yes/no question. And so when you're ready, you can ask it now. Spirit, for pile number 1's question, can we get a yes/no for their question, please? Thank you so much. Well, I've never had such a thing. I'm getting a yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, maybe, maybe, maybe. Let me use this one, okay? Very interesting. Spirit, for pile 1, can we please get a yes, no answer to their question? Thank you. Maybe I shouldn't have had like 2 cups of coffee by the time we ran this. I'm not getting your answer, you guys. I'm not comfortable with telling you what it is. That's very interesting. I don't know why to pull the pendulum, but it could be the blend of who's in here or how you asked your question. Okay, so maybe this is something you're having to open up or crack open yourself. You know, like this piece of information, maybe you were contemplating yes, no, and it's like, I don't know, something becomes clear. Let me see. Spirit, what's with this change? Can we get just a little sneaky peek here for pile 1 and the ones that are resonating with this message? What's coming through here? Funny. That was hilarious. Wisdom in reverse. I don't understand it yet. You're missing a piece of information that would provide you with because wisdom's all about, once we have all the knowledge, once we understand the picture, then we make educated decisions that could drive change. It's like you don't have that information yet. But I feel it comes, it comes upon reflecting and a clearer understanding. Like you see something here that allows you to move forward, simplify. Yeah, maybe it's too complicated, or maybe we don't know the way, or maybe we don't fully understand just yet. So I'll leave that with you guys. I tried. Okay, like I said, I've never had a pendulum do such weirdness, but it literally went from a yes, no, and then it was like swinging on a maybe. And it could be because of my coffee hands. I don't know, but that's your reading, pile 1. How interesting. I hope this resonated for you. If you're drawn to another pile, I will see you there. All right. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 2. You guys picked the Metaphysical Cannabis Oracle deck, and we're looking at the week ahead or the next 7 to 10 days. Energetically, what's sort of coming in. Now, like I mentioned in the intro, and in the disclaimer, energy is not set in stone, and therefore I can't give you an exact timing of window, okay, or a window of timing, but just sort of use your intuition here for, the upcoming, let's say week, 10 days or whatever it might be, okay, and we'll take a look at what it is that Spirit wants to show you in way of energy. And because there's lots going on astrologically, we have 6 planets sort of lining up here with the sun and giving off a very heavily charged energy that might be impacting a lot of the energy going around, okay, for you. But like I say, all my readings are timeless. So regardless of when you click on this video, the messaging was meant to find you as long as you're resonating with the messaging. So let's ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. What's happening here energetically with pile number 2 in regards to what they have to look forward to energetically, spirits? Thank you so much for this message. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Thank you so much, pile 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. See that there? And we have those. Okay, so what do we have? Witch with metaverse. It looks like she's adding an ingredient to something. So this is kind of giving me alchemy or magician vibes. Okay, magician is Virgo, Gemini energy. We have Yua with guidance. High priestess vibes there. And we have Ifarata with healing. I'm going to leave them as they come out here, okay? And we have, oopsie, Irawo with restoration. The Aquarius vibes. We have magic with alignment. And we have the Usupa with vision. And we have bliss with trust. Both of those are in reverse. And we have Rana Rudu with loyalty. And we have Yamata with starseed. Let's keep those to the end, okay? So let me see what is going on. What's under which metaverse? We have Agbe with bliss. So you guys have bliss here with trust in reverse. Interesting. Okie dokie. So Virgo, Gemini, Pisces, Aquarius, and Sagittarius energy pulling through here, and a little bit of Leo. Wow. Okay. What's under that? Hood love with community. Okay. So we'll see what these are, but I feel like what Spirit is showing is, I feel there is something in regards to your energy that's off balance right now. Okay. And it is going to require some attention on your end here to get aligned. And I feel like it's all around your healing, and the healing will allow you to have a better understanding of your current situation. Okay. And I feel like Spirit is trying to show you, and you could be really pulled into your dreams, spirituality, and this sort of space of, I mean, it feels very much like divine energy, but it almost feels like you need to get grounded here, okay? Because I feel like we're pulled into this metaphysical sort of space, and we're not quite understanding what it is that the divine is trying to show us, or what the signs, symbols, synchronicities, dreams are trying to lead us to. And so I feel like there's an off balance here. I need to get grounded so we can get more concise and have a clearer understanding of the purpose of what we're trying to do. And so I feel like you might feel very alone, or like you don't know what path to trust or what you can sort of take action on. And so the Spirit's message here is pulling through as once you get aligned with your energy, once you go through getting grounded, the vision will come, the people will come, your purpose will come, your understanding of why this is sort of happening will come. But I feel like there's this order of things that have to happen, and it has to be almost like the right measurement of experience in order for you to then know. Because I feel there might be a disappointment here. Like, why all this? Why so heavy? Why am I experiencing what I'm experiencing? And I also feel very alone. And can I even trust the divine to lead me? Is this just, like a big joke, or like I'm being led down the wrong path? Like, can I trust that there's something more to this experience? And so the divine saying, yes, you can trust this experience, trust the imbalance right now, trust that this is a part of the process, trust that this is leading you to bliss. Because right now I feel like there's a lack of trust that what's happening to you is actually good or needed or required. Like, why am I seeing or experiencing a lot of these spiritual events potentially? And it could be because I could relate with this part of, a spiritual journey where we are so far removed from the divine at one point, and then we start to experience all of these like mystical, magical experiences, and we can't answer them, especially if we're, in our mind a lot, or like logical explanations. And so we don't know why all of we're being shown what we're being shown. We don't know what to trust. And we start to question a lot. And Spirit's really showing like this process is in order to create a significant amount of change and transformation in your world. So you can release a lot of the things that are holding you down or need to be changed. And there's a lot of, I say lies, okay, but it's illusions, stories, and explanations we might have about who we are or what we think our purpose is that needs to be revealed. And I think this comes with a lot of pain. Okay, and it's only coming with a lot of pain because of the fact that we are really identified and attached to that vision and that story and that understanding we have of who we are. But the pain is temporary and the suffering doesn't have to last. But I feel like Spirit is saying this alignment process takes some time. And we might really, really feel imbalanced, because what we used to be able to trust, who we used to be able to trust, and the structure in which provided security and stability and a sense of, like supporting that identity and our attachment felt safe, is kind of pulled from under us. So now it's like, I don't know if I feel safe in that world anymore. But I also don't know that I could trust the new world or what I'm being asked or shown to do. And I don't even understand that part of it. So I feel like you feel thrown to the wolves in some way here, and maybe you don't even trust yourself, or you're not even trusting your own visions or what your intuition's telling you. And you're sort of knee deep in this process where you don't even feel like, am I even healing or am I getting worse? Is this vision going to come or what? And so this looks like an affirmation that healing is happening, and it's happening in a very concise way that the divine knows what it's doing, but it has to be in equal measure. And sometimes we're put off balance completely in order for us to experience the polarity in which we can drive more change and get more balanced. Okay, so there's a significant imbalance right now in order for there to be an understanding or an appreciation of what does balance look like. And I think your world here with this community and this hood love being reverse here, okay, is we haven't found our support system just yet. We haven't found the people here that we can truly, depend on, or we haven't found a place where we can hang our hat or coat. So we feel maybe very removed, isolated, and still up in the air and transient because there's no roots planted here. And that could be very scary, especially if we've had a world that was very set, solid, and understood by us. Okay, so recognition here, like you do have a purpose. And here we have starseed. So, you know, these could be like wanderer souls that come here in order to drive a bigger purpose or a bigger agenda to the collective that is being shown to you that's not quite understood just yet. Oh my goodness, that scared me. I think I got to turn off my phone here so I don't distract, but we're going to see these, okay? So let me pause this just so we don't get distracted. One sec. Okay, pile number 2. So it's just my daughter asking me about editing software. And like I always say in my readings, everything sort of ties into the energy. So she's asking about editing software. And so editing software has to take something and like, you know, like morph it into something else. I feel like Spirit wants you to know what it is that you're sort of dealing with here by removing anything that isn't you. And then you can sort of lean into your purpose. I feel like maybe we're putting the cart before the horse, you know, like we want to know our purpose. What's this all for? Why am I experiencing what I'm experiencing? What am I being shown? And Spirit is saying, like, allow the process to happen in, like I said, in the right measure, which is first, we got to remove with all these skulls. I'm getting Scorpio energy. Okay, or release all the things that aren't true or illusions or not a part of our identity that we're maybe attached to or telling ourselves is a part of us. Okay, so we're really tapped into the divine here with the high priestess energy I'm getting. And I'm even getting the Hierophant. So it's like our lifestyle. But now our lifestyle has to incorporate this high priestess energy, our intuition, and digging into the subconscious and maybe like triggering some fears and revealing to us what's untrue. And it comes with a lot of pain, you know, with this whip. And the whip is talking about with the Lenormand, it's like the suffering and the painful situations we might be experiencing here. So I feel like we're getting like barfed on with all of this intensity, very intense, you know, and so it's like, am I even healing? And what is this healing about? Like, this is giving me temperance energy and even star energy. So yeah, like, and it says healing. So star is all about healing, but the star is like the future vision or hope of something. And so I feel like there is a plan for the future, and maybe it seems so like ridiculous right now, you know, like a star is like a distant thing we can't even attain, and we don't even see. I feel like we're blocked from seeing what does the future even look like here. And we might want to know this, so it provides us some comfort. And so this reading is really giving some comfort, saying, deal with what's in front of you right now. Release what is no longer you. Deal with whatever isn't a part of you by acknowledging that it is maybe an attachment or a story or some form of illusion that we thought was a part of who we are. Even if there's fear in letting this go, this will allow us to get a little more balance. This is the healing that's required in order for there to be an alignment so that we can bring balance to ourselves here. More Aquarius energy, more star energy here. Okay, the great purpose, the great star here is the reason this is happening. Okay, but we have to sort of deal with what is put in front of us. So we have a vision here. We have the light and the dark, which is giving me Chariot energy. So Cancer energy, yeah, even with the moon, more Cancer energy. And it's like we might feel very stuck and for sure imbalanced. Okay, but the imbalance is happening so that we can get back on track, so that the universe can put us on the right track, so we can have victory in the right area, not feed an area that is not for us. Because I feel like the lifestyle we were living or the world we created thinking it was us is actually not us. So the universe put the brakes on. And in order for it to get the brakes, or the gas back on and balance and all this, we have to release what's not us and integrate shadow and do healing and go into subconscious here. Okay, but I feel like we might not be trusting the process, or we just don't see the vision of where this is taking, and trusting that, because right now we feel like the universe did us dirty, or there's nothing around here I can trust, or I don't see the vision. So therefore, how do I know that what I need to do here is even something I need to do? And the divine saying, just trust. Trust that it's happening in the right measure. Trust that it is leading you to bliss. Trust that your purpose is going to be seen, but it must be sort of flowing in this sort of way. Look at this. Future love letter, I love you. How beautiful is that? And so we see the open book. So the book talks about knowledge. And this person is writing in the book, so unlike pile one, where I felt there was something revealed, some hidden knowledge, this is like you're writing on this slate, like you're creating this thing, like you're not being handed what you're sort of supposed to be doing. You're the one who's going to have the power to be conscious enough to write on the slate of the knowledge of who you are and what you're here to do. It's beautiful. And look, the mirror here is reflecting. And your future self is saying, I love you. So who is this that you're needing, like right now? Because it's like I was telling you, you felt like you were either pulled from support or people around you aren't supporting. You're feeling very alone. And it's like for a reason, because you're finding the strength within yourself and you're reflecting upon the power of who you actually are here so that you can, like I said, experience what that is. And once you understand and understand and experience that, it becomes very obvious to you through experience, through the wisdom of what is true. And we don't know what's true unless we really experience it. And I feel like this is what the universe is showing you, is like you're having to experience this for a reason so you can have buy-in, so you could be conscious and write on the slate of what you're here to do. Your story, your star is going to be solely up to you, but you have to be in the right energy or else you won't be seen or shown, or you can't jump the gun to that. So it's a process, but you're supported. Look, I love you in union. Alabasesipo, union. So coming into balance, because I felt imbalance. And here with the alignment, it's like the divine wants to work with this magic, even this witch and metaverse. The divine wants to work with you to create the alignment so that you can come into balance. And once you're in balance, then you're ready to write, in the history books of what it is that you're here to do. But you'll be sort of the author of this direction. Abracadabra with connect. Wow, that's amazing. Abracadabra is magic. Cloud meditation, look up. So I feel there's something so magical about your energy. Lots of star energy coming through, which is healing and visions of greater purpose, like divine purpose, destined plan. You're getting aligned right now in order for you to be able to fulfill and drive towards that. And I feel like Spirit really wants you to know, especially with this look up on top of this loyalty in reverse, like you feel you feel like you're not supported or you feel alone. And Spirit's saying you're never alone. With this look up, you're always connected to the divine. You're always having this beautiful, strong support that's running through you. All you have to do is remember that you're connected to the divine. Remember that you are connected to all and that you don't ever need to feel unsupported or do not ever need to feel like you're alone in this. Okay, so I feel like you will connect here in the 3D world to your soul tribe and to your purpose. And that's where it's leading you to, so that you can surround yourself with what you're supposed to be connecting with. But unless you're ready and balanced and sort of in union with yourself, you're kind of not there just yet. Okay, you're not there just yet. And that's what Spirit is trying to work with you on. But if you get stuck or feel like you're not quite sure, it's like just know how divine you absolutely are and how supported you absolutely are. And even your future self is your high self here communicating to you. Interesting, I say high self because we have the cannabis. And this could certainly be coming from your higher self. It's like your future self is showing you, writing in the slate of who you are, getting there of your own conscious choice and free will. you're not asleep and running towards this thing, but you can only do this when you release what you're not, when you see what it is that you're needing to shift out of, so that you're in the proper energy here to create, to create whatever your purpose is, which for all of you guys would certainly be different. But I feel like it's the purpose of connecting with your community and the purpose of driving some form of destined plan, that's written in the stars in some way, specifically for you, your purpose. Okay. But we're still on this path and we're still a little disconnected. So allow the process to happen. Do not, beat yourself up over it, because I feel like she's the one holding the whip. So I feel like you might be putting undue pressure. You might be doing undue suffering for yourself. You don't need to suffer in this process. The only way you suffer is if you don't allow yourself to release or surrender, or if you try to hang on to untruths, trying to convince yourself or prove yourself that you are those things, and you identify with those attachments that you might have. And it's like, don't create attachments. Do not, have false understandings of who you are. You're a divine being. You're the essence behind everything that you might have been attached to at some point. And suffering comes when we cling on to that story rather than, allow ourselves to be this divine, beautiful being. So, beautiful angel, pile number 2. I know it's a very sort of metaphysical reading here, but what's happening in the next little while, I feel like, is reassurance on this healing journey and this sort of bit by bit process of what you're experiencing here that is still, it's still in effect. Like, you're still going through this massive shift. And I do feel for a lot of you guys, it could be like a dark night of the soul, or like a spiritual awakening, or like our divine purpose is out there still. And it seems so far, but the further away it is, it's like the more groundwork you're being called to do because of that huge life plan that's needing to be fulfilled at some point. But you need to be in the right energy to fulfill this dream or this vision. Okay, so you're not alone. I love you very much, pile number 2. If you're drawn to another pile, I will see you there. All right, bye-bye. Hello, beautiful, gorgeous angels. Pile number 3, Soul Trees Oracle card. We're looking at the energy coming towards you in the next, let's say, 7 to 10 days, okay? Now, because energy isn't exact here when it comes to timing, you'll have to sort of take that with a grain of salt, but it is coming in with the planetary alignments that's happening, and there are 6 planets that are becoming completely aligned here with the sun. So there's a lot of stuff going on astrologically right now, okay? Regardless of when you sort of click on this video, because this is timeless. The messaging is meant to find you, but if you are clicking at the time of the recording, then this would most likely speak to a lot of the changes going on. So I don't know if we're going to see, more of the metaphysical type stuff pulling through here, or more practical stuff pulling through, but we are asking Spirit for the next week, 7 to 10 days, whatever's coming through here energetically for beautiful pile number 3. What is pile 3 needing to know, Spirit? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Thank you so much, pile 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. And the first 2 are absolutely fascinating here. So curious to see what pulls through with your reading. Okay, so we have truth, don't read bottom of the deck, reverse, and we have confidence in reverse. So tree energy, if you pick the tree, this is all about health, okay? And health could refer to many aspects of our life, because health could be our physical health or mental health or spiritual health, so yeah, and tree also represents the family tree, the lineage, stability, security, foundation of something. So maybe there's a lack of any one of those areas or maybe with the lack of confidence and maybe some form of stability or the health of something here. Okay, so let's see. Truth. Speak your truth. Interesting. Clarity. Wowzers. Feeling some Scorpio energy pulling through. And a lot of blue. So blue is all about throat chakra, which is their self-expression. Okay. And we have transformation, Scorpio energy, again, pulling through in reverse. And we have strength, Leo energy in reverse. And we have psychic knowing. Wow. Pisces energy, High Priestess, new growth and gratitude. Beautiful green energy. Green is heart chakra, all about love. Okay, so let me sit here with this energy. What's under confidence in reverse? You have flourish, reverse, and inspiration. Okay. Give me a little bit to sit here with this energy. Okay, pile number 3. So this could be your energy or energy around you. I'm going to kind of read it 2 ways depending on who's here and who's clicked on here. For some of you guys, I feel like you guys might be the ones that are not, well, for a majority of you guys are not speaking a truth or have not yet been able to stand in your truth, okay, for whatever reason. But I mean, Spirit is showing here like a lack of confidence to stand up and speak for your truth. It would require you to stand in strength and be encouraged so that you could provide clarity in a situation. And so I think we've been resisting some form of transformation, personal transformation, in order for us to be able to confidently be able to stand in our truth, which would require us to have a lot of courage. So we're held back, or we could be dealing with somebody who's hasn't been truthful in a situation here and has been held back and has been holding up some form of transformation or the health of something that could become fruitful or be grounded in reality or become more stable as a result of truth and clarity. And so you might be feeling like you're held hostage here, you know, because of someone else's lack of confidence or someone else's lack of providing clarity. But either which way, I feel like there is truth that is not being expressed or communicated, and there's a lack of clarity, whichever side you sort of fall on here. But I feel like there's a deeper understanding here with the psychic knowing. This is energy that's, you know, coming through with the intuition. It could be through telepathy, through dreams, through just a psychic knowing that there is a greater truth that transcends past whatever it is that you're experiencing here. Okay. And I feel like Spirit is really saying that in order for there to be change, in order for there to be a new beginning, there has to be an understanding that this transformation has to take place. Okay, because if we're resisting a transformation, meaning we're not letting go of what needs to be let go of, we're not, you know, we're sort of resisting or up against allowing things to sort of flow because of being too held back or not being confident enough or trusting ourselves to lean into this courage, we're preventing new growth that we intuitively know is needing to happen, or at least we intuitively know is where we're being called to do. Okay, and so I feel like Spirit wants you to lean in on what it would look like to have this new growth for self. Like, what would that look like? And this is, you know, for some of you guys, I feel like, what is the stability of the vision of this thing that you want? Because I feel like at the end of the day, you want something, or there's a psychic knowing or an intuitive hit based on what you envision something growing to be. And in order for it to grow to be what it is, it needs to get grounded and it needs to be stable. In order for it to get to that, it needs to have new growth. And for the new growth to happen, we need to allow the transformation and the release to happen. In order for that to happen, we need to get clear and honest about something. So we're sort of going backwards. Okay. We're reverse engineering some sort of pathway here. And I feel like there's a stopgap. And the stopgap here is in this truth being either held hostage for whatever reason, okay? And it's sort of cascading this stoppage of flow, new growth, and the stability and the fruit. And so change here, we're resisting some form of change here. Now, like I said, I don't know if you guys are dealing with a situation here that isn't providing you with the clarity. And so Spirit is saying, like, lean into what you would see as new growth for yourself and what you psychically know, and then drive in that truth. Like, drive towards what that would look like, towards creating and rooting and grounding that. If you're dealing with a situation that's sort of held up, because I feel like some situation is held up. And it's really held up here, like strength in reverse, confidence in reverse, transformation in reverse, flourish in reverse. The change is resisted. Okay, look, and under that's the rebirth, which is underneath all of this resistance. There's a massive change and a rebirth. And that is in line with the truth. Okay, like intuitively, there's a knowing that that is the truth. We can't suppress the truth from happening, no matter how much we resist and hold back. But we're preventing this new growth, this change. And so Spirit's showing with this gratitude, it's like, in order for this to happen, one, with all this green, we have to come from the loving angle, because green's all about the heart chakra. And so what is love? Love is unconditional. Love has no expectation. Love is unconditional. Okay, anything other than that is not love. So if there's a condition, if there's a limitation, that's not love. That's ego driven. Okay, from mind. We're talking about heart love, and heart is, an expression of love is something here that's, when we infuse in situations, will allow there to be shifts and change. But I feel like the language of love here with this gratitude is to really focus on what is working, what is coming through here, because I feel like there's an intuitive knowing of what works. There's an intuitive knowing about, what it is we can pay homage to with love and gratitude and appreciation. And the more we sort of lean into this, the more we allow this new growth to sort of happen organically. Wherever it's stuck, okay, we just keep kicking it back to this love so that this new growth feels safe in order for it to be able to become solid. Because I don't know, again, like I say, if you're lacking confidence in a situation with the strength and this confidence in reverse, it's like we might be focusing on what doesn't work rather than the love and the gratitude and what is working. And so we need to tip the scales towards the love and what works and what we're grateful for. And then things will shift. Then the transformation happens organically as we sort of lean into this. But the more we lean into a lack of confidence, or I can't, or I won't, or I don't know how, now we've tipped the scales the other way. And so we're preventing the transformation and the growth. If we are dealing with someone here that's just not being clear, a situation that hasn't moved, it's needing change, but it's not changing, we can't rely on it, it's not rooted in truth, then it's like, allow yourself to speak your truth. And if you have already, and we're still feeling stuck, we have an intuitive knowing. Okay, that's the more we connect with love, the more we show gratitude to what is working, the more we're able to allow a safe place for there to be new growth in our world, for there to be a shift, okay, in an area that will be fruitful for us. If it's not this area, it's like, well, the truth will come through, because the truth always finds a way to come through. But energetically, if we're too focused on where it's stuck and what didn't work, again, we tip the scales towards what's not working, towards what's clogged or stuck or not clear, and we're held back. Okay, so either way, the universe is saying, allow yourself to focus on love. Okay, and love doesn't have to be like, an intimate sort of sexual partner in any capacity here. Love is just the love in any situation here that has no selfish agenda. Okay, it's like focus on the gratitude of what is existing, what is standing, what is the universe providing for you right now. Okay, because that's what's going to allow things to flourish. That's what's going to allow the change to happen, but we need to, with this inspiration, this is really telling me, get out of any negative sort of mindsets that's more focused on what's not working, why things are stuck, why we cannot, why are things held back. Like that whole thing won't allow there to be an organic shift. And that is far from the truth. That is ego, that is fear, that is feeding sort of the lack of clarity, the lack of the truth. Okay, so it doesn't really allow things to flourish here. Yeah, look, and it's stopping this abundance, which again is the fruit of the tree. So it's more of giving guidance here in a situation, but let's see. I do feel for you guys. I want to see some more. Spirits, what is it then happening here with pile number 3 that they need to be aware of here? Because like I said, if this isn't your energy, you're dealing with a situation that you still have control over. You're not at the mercy of staying in situations that are not true, because that psychic knowing is like intuitively you already sort of are in line with understanding a greater truth, but now your physical reality has to line up with that. You can't stay in, I don't know, like stuck in a way here of seeing what's not working or what's not clear. So Spirit, what is it that pile number 3 is needing to know then about this situation? Play, mystery in reverse, or Pisces energy. Treat yourself. Oh my goodness, look at all that. So I do feel we need all these. We have strength in reverse again, grounded. And we have inner power in reverse. We have rebirth. And we have the 4th chakra, heart center, which we were really picking up with that green. Okay, we have purpose in reverse, and then we have renewal in reverse. Okay, let me sit here with this one, prosperity under that. Okay, so it's interesting how I'm getting the 2 energies here still yet again. So if you are lacking confidence, okay, you're held back or whatever, there's a resistance of transformation here and a lack of speaking a truth. So Spirit wants you to know that a rebirth is assured. And the only way we can have prosperity is to allow the rebirth to happen, not to resist, not fight, not to dwell with the negative, like I said. And so we might be not seeing, like there might be a fear and a held backness because we don't see. And Spirit is saying, allow yourself to work with the divine with this play from an aspect of trusting that you can ground a situation here, even though you might not see, like maybe you wanted to know the outcome. Maybe you wanted to have a certainty in your situation. It's like allow yourself to work with the divine in the moment. And in the moment is, like I said, shifting your energy from that more lower vibe of non-trust or lack of clarity into the heart space. This will treat yourself, and all this pink is giving me like self-love, because all of that in the moment, self-love, leaning into the heart space is going to allow a situation to change, is going to allow the inner power to come through, is going to allow something to shift. Okay. And that's the only way for there to be this rebirth and this renewal, for there to be the purpose of what needs to get grounded and stable here. So it might feel like it's not having any impact here, in the moment. I mean, with this play, it seems very, like whatever the situation you're dealing with might seem more serious, or might seem like something you're really needing to know the answer or the result, or it has like great weight to it. And Spirit's saying, don't get too carried away by the weight of your situation. Be in the right here, right now moment. Like kids with play, they're not worried about tomorrow. They're not even worried about 5 o'clock. They're outside playing. Well, back in the day, they were outside playing, whatever. Kids, they're playing. They have no concern about what's happening, at 5 p.m. or tomorrow or whatever. It's like a very in the moment energy. And this energy is showing the universe, like, I'm allowing myself to love myself with all this pink, to lean into the heart space, to start to build that inner power. And eventually that will, like I said, tip the scales in your situation energetically in order for there to be the rebirth, in order for there to be this purpose. Because I think Spirit really wants you to plant something that's going to be prosperous. Okay, but I feel like right now we're blocking this way of doing it because we're not tapped into this heart center. This is why children, and the heart space are like hand in hand. Like a baby doesn't have any conditioning or anything. And so the baby's very trusting here. The baby can get into this heart space very easily. But when we have blocked heart chakra, it's because we've experienced a whole bunch of things sort of getting in the way of us trusting the divine and allowing ourselves to love without conditions and trust, the flow. And so then we have a lack of confidence and resist the change. And there's a whole cascade of things here. So Spirit really wants you to know you're going to plant roots. Things are going to get grounded. A rebirth is assured, which will have a following of prosperity and a purpose to this whole heavy situation that you're dealing with here, that I feel is like getting the roots for this beautiful future. I feel like it's because I'm seeing rebirth here. I feel like it's the rest of your future, if I got to be honest, and with purpose. Like this is very significant. So I don't know, like a major career change or, like a marriage, a family, like something that's forever is kind of what I feel here. Okay. And so of course we'd be very hesitant or fearful or whatever we might be feeling. But Spirit is saying, like, allow yourself to be more focused on what's going on in front of you in the now. Do not get too concerned with, the end result of this career, or this family, or the whatever. Bit by bit, organically, we start to build roots and get grounded in our situation. That inner strength will form, and it can only be found in the heart space. It can only be pulled out of love. It can't be pulled out of I can't, lack of confidence, being held back, resisting change, not allowing things to flow. That will get us the opposite result. Okay, and so focus on that sort of energy here for, I guess, the upcoming weeks, because we really asked about the upcoming week emerging. Yeah, like let that energy emerge. And so this might be a change from what you're used to, like regardless if you're the one sort of lacking the confidence or held back in something and not speaking some truth or seeing the truth in a situation because you're dealing with someone who is lacking, I don't know, some form of communication. I feel like the only way to merge is this key to I really feel it's self-emergence here. Self-emergence will allow for situational emergence. If emergence is even a word, like the situation will emerge only when we emerge, and we emerge tapping into our own inner power. Okay, so this is an interesting reading, beautiful people. I hope this resonated for you guys. Let me know in the comments if this made sense to you. Okay, if it didn't, then there might be another pile for you. Okay, I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 4. You guys picked the Animal Power deck. And we're going to take a look at the next 7 to 10 days or the week ahead, energetically, what is going on. Okay, whatever Spirit wants to show you here energetically. And like I mentioned in the intro, there's a lot going on astrologically with the planets. The planets are aligning. There's like 6 planets getting in line. They call it the parade of planets with the sun here. So there's a lot going on, okay, regardless of whenever you click on this video, because this video is timeless, this message could certainly still be for you as long as you resonate, okay, with whatever's being communicated. So let's ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 4. Spirit, please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 4. What is it they're needing to know about this week ahead, the next 7 to 10 days, the energy coming towards them at this time? Thank you so much, Spirit. And thank you so much, pile number 4, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. So I will be reading reversals as well. We have Mouse with Release Worry. Feel one more. Okay. So I don't read one with the deck reverse. We have Manatee with Allow for Gentle Times. And then we have Peacock, Share Your True Colors in reverse. Okay, we have Beaver, Build with Integrity. We have Flamingo, Find Healthy Balance. Swan, Awaken Artistic Spirit. We have the Porcupine in reverse, Trust, Open-Hearted Vulnerability. And we have the Roadrunner, Transform Your Energy. And then we have the Skunk, Set Healthy Boundaries. Okay, let me sit here with this energy and see what we see. But we have some Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. And some Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I see a little bit of Leo as well. Horse, Embrace New Adventure. And some Aries. Okay. I'm getting a little bit of imposter syndrome from this pile, which sometimes comes through here. I feel like we might be in sort of a challenging pocket of window here where we're being asked to express ourselves and to drive with purpose here so we can lay a foundation of something grand, which is aligned with our authenticity and set you free and liberate you and feel empowered to do this. But I feel like we're not there, or there's a lot of hesitation or worry or question that's more weighted than freeing yourself and expressing yourself and throwing sort of this caution to the wind. Okay, and so I feel like Spirit wants you to connect more with your authenticity here, because I feel like you're shutting yourself down. And this can be in a way of not trusting yourself or comparing yourself or telling yourself something. So we can have the voice of our parents, the voice of our teachers, the voice of the inner critic, whatever it is that's coming through saying I can't or it won't, I think is overriding. And so Spirit doesn't want you to listen to that voice, because I feel like if we listen to that voice, we don't take the chance and we don't trust ourselves to lean in towards what we're authentically being called to do. And so I do feel like the purpose of what it is that you're being called to do, there's like the meat of that in which you enjoy. So one, Spirit really wants you to focus on that. So for example, let's say, I don't know if this is a business, it might come with a whole bunch of administrative stuff that's not really your forte, or the part of the business that needs to be done, but it has nothing to do with, maybe you like to sing, but in order for you to sing, you might need to, I don't know, do whatever the agent does, or I don't know, like whatever, you need the software. There's a whole bunch of stuff that comes with it. Spirit wants you to focus more on the meat of whatever it is that you're doing here, if it's art or if it's speaking, singing, dancing, whatever the thing is, okay? But it's like the part that maybe you have a big question mark around is something that's holding you back in some way. And I feel like Spirit is saying, like, not to put too much weight into that part of that project or that piece of your journey. Don't let that be driving your agenda. Don't let that be driving your decisions. Allow yourself to work with the foundation of what you do have in order for you to see the fruits of that and build momentum on that so that you can trust yourself, and build on that. But I feel like maybe we're really hesitant, period, because we see something that didn't work, or we're hanging on to the reality of that inner critic or that voice that prevents us from then trying anything at all. Okay. And Spirit is really showing like the parts that maybe you're questioning or the parts that are maybe holding you back. You could prepare for those. There can be work done on that, and you don't need to know all the answers. You don't need to have everything sort of set in place. That could be something that comes. Okay. That could be something that's slowly over time sort of gets developed without it stopping or preventing you from taking that first leap or exploring that part of the, I don't know, whatever it is, your creative pursuit. I think you're like really not even taking one foot or one step towards that because of the fear or the question or the inner voice that's more fearful to do it than to actually do it. Because that creates the power of expression. What did I say? So, I don't know, maybe we feel like we need someone else's buy-in, or we feel alone, or we're comparing ourselves to the experts in that field. But whatever it is, I think you're giving it too much power. And how you'll know you're giving it too much power is if you haven't even taken that first step, or you're resisting doing the thing that you already know that you do know how to do well, like the sing, the dance, or the whatever. Like that piece, Spirit is wanting you to pour into. And this will allow things to shift. This will allow you to trust yourself so that you can lay the groundwork to the actual administrative part, or the part that has you worried, because I feel you're held back for no other reason other than your own sort of mental dialogue or comparisons or untruths. So let's see, Spirit, what is it then that pile number 4 needs to know about this week ahead and this energy that I'm tapped into here for pile 4? What do they need to know? Yeah, I feel like you're stopped, you're blocked, and you don't see like how free you can be, and you're more listening to the part that isn't freeing, the part that doesn't help you. Well, communicate clearly. So whale is about like big love, this big personality here. Welcome higher guidance with the snake. So snake's about wisdom. And then we have bat, face your fears in reverse. Pisces energy. And Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces there as well. And we have the giraffe, connect to higher wisdom. Look at that. So definitely with the purple, the intuition would be the divine, higher guidance and higher wisdom pulling through. Why is this snake here with this welcome higher guidance? We have spider, create magic, more creative energy. So we have Scorpio energy pulling through. Oopsie. And we have the seal, find heart connection. And again with the macaw, with the create, the power of expression, and the bull, step forward. Okay, Taurus energy. So you're being asked to express yourself. Okay, a lot of you guys are comparing yourself, or maybe, like I said, imposter syndrome, or what you're seeing is not necessarily the truth, how you're seeing yourself. You might be seeing yourself sort of just amongst the rest, or like you won't stand out, or you're missing something to be like the rest. Whatever you're telling yourself, I think is untrue. Okay, and I think you're blocking your own self, getting in your own way, being your biggest bully, I feel. So Spirit really wants you to use the divine here. Okay, in order for you to be able to use the momentum to create what it is that you're being asked to. It's your own authentic expression of creativity here that's being suppressed or watered down here because of your inability to rise above and see yourself from a different perspective here, which will only come with you trusting your intuition, trusting the divine. We might not see exactly how the steps, like I said, I don't know, the administrative part or the part that's not clicking. And it's like, it's okay because the bat still flies, even though it doesn't see it, uses its sonar. So you're going to use your intuition to fly around, okay, or to move forward, to press forward, to take the step forward, even though we don't have the full answer. This is facing the fear rather than listening to the fear and the rat or the worry, okay, to understand that we could still have a clear vision from within us, from the love that we feel, to communicate and express that part that we do know, so that we can start creating that web or that magic, because it's going to take time to create that web, okay, but it has to start. And so I feel like Spirit's really saying, like, use your love of the meat of what you like to do, because that's getting kind of washed away with the worry of what you don't like or what needs to happen, rather than the part of the joy that you can experience in why you wanted to do it in the first place, or sort of, I don't know, like throwing the baby out with the bathwater is kind of what I feel. Trust your open-hearted vulnerability with the porcupine. So we might be seeing like the thorny side of it, or the part that's uncomfortable, or the part that's like, oh, that would require me to expose something here. And Spirit is saying, that's okay. Like, create the truth by expressing your authenticity, by connecting to the divine and trusting your intuition to be able to express this, even if it feels like you're being vulnerable or sharing a side that maybe, I don't know, like you feel uncomfortable doing because maybe you thought you had to speak like everyone else or toe the line like everyone else, or maybe there's this cultural belief that you need to be, I don't know, your family wanted you to do that, but it's like, I want to break convention here. It's like, okay, then speak your truth, trust in the divine, allow yourself to shed what's no longer you. Maybe you're in a career right now that needs to go away, like the snakeskin, in order for you to focus solely on exploring what it takes to create this thing. And it's like, trust your intuition, follow that path, be led by that. Step forward. So I always get like the bull in the china shop here that sort of goes and just, I don't know, like makes a mess. Maybe, yeah, it's like, when we want to create something and then we just don't even explore it at all because we think we're going to maybe make a mess of it. Like, I don't understand enough about it, so I'll kind of ruin it. Like a bull in a china shop, like it ruins everything there. It doesn't belong. You feel like you don't belong, or like in the energy you're in, you're going to create more chaos. And Spirit's saying, no, allow yourself to step forward. Don't see yourself as the bull. Okay, see yourself as the true divine being here that's coming in with a new contribution to this field, because you don't have to be like everybody else, and you don't have to let your inner critic or whatever story you're telling yourself be the driver of this. Allow the divine to help drive you in your intuition. That's what's going to face your fears. That's what's going to help you to build this thing. Okay, but you have to have the love of it, like lean into the love of it. So maybe draw more, act more, sing more, paint more, write more, do the thing you love more, so you can feed on that energy, because that connects to your heart. So this is why you want to do it. Okay, this is why, like, keep going back there. It's not because of any other reason, why your parents tell you, or because of the money, or because of the whatever. I feel like it's more the heart reason, the purpose, the divine being in which you're being called to do this. That is where the truth lies. That's where your true, where your big love is, So Spirit wants you to lean into your heart, lean into the divine, shed what's not to you. Beetle, think optimistically. Yeah, like, don't look at the thing that you're probably going to ruin or that's going to go sideways. It's like, think of the thing you love to do and how you'll impact society by developing and leaning into this thing rather than shying away from it. It's going to give you momentum here and allow you to really express something here, that's authentically you. And I think it's beautiful here. It's going to provide a lot of light to this world, a lot of joy, a lot of vibrancy. Okay, but yeah, with this giraffe, it's like seeing something from a higher perspective here. Keep going. mountain goat in reverse. This is all about being persistent. It's giving me Capricorn energy. You know, Capricorn has to dedicate, and sometimes it even sacrifices certain parts of whatever it is that it needs to in order to accomplish something and be committed and dedicated to get an outcome. So I feel like we might be shying away from the first challenge, you know, or the thought we have of challenge. It's like, don't shy away. You know, you're being guided. You'll be guided all the way through this thing. The divine has your back. And just like the spider can create this web beautifully, it doesn't need to be sort of shown. It's like it is born with this through the divine power of building web. It creates it beautifully. Same with the bat. It navigates beautifully. It doesn't need to, I don't know, like I feel like you're waiting for something you don't need to wait for. The only thing that's holding you back is your own fear. And so trust that you are innately given this beautiful skill. You know, whatever this is, it's like, it's beautiful, but you'll forget if you're disconnected from it. If you don't lean into this heart space, you start to listen to your mind or the voice or the other people or the reason you cannot. And that's not what spirit wants you to do here. Okay. So you'll have to tell me in the comments what you guys are working on. This is very beautiful and serving as an affirmation here for the week ahead. Maybe, you know, you're starting to wonder whether you're capable of something, and spirit's like, yes, like you're going to create magic here. Yes, like it'll be something you can find stability in, or you can hang your hat on, like something that is going to be your magic. Okay, so beautiful angels, this is your reading. I hope this helped you, and I will see you guys at the next one. Bye-bye.